Pisces, October energies are upon us. Are you ready? Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for October for Pisces. And OMG Pisces, the energies are really flowing, so let's see what we got for you. We are going to be pulling an overarching theme card from the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2 deck from Rage Create. And this was the deck that called to me for you guys, the Artist Decoded Tarot. This is by Jennifer Sodini and Yoshino. So I'm sure that you're going to love the imagery in this. It's absolutely beautiful. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so let's see what we got coming up for you guys. I definitely feel like this is going to be a month where you feel more grounded, more connected to your soul journey, your soul path. Definitely feels like it's going to be, I want to say, more spiritually oriented or minded. You're going to feel a little more like the spiritual side of you is what you want to focus on. Oh my God. As I submerge my body in Mother Earth, I heal all my hurts. Wow. So yes, and I was talking about spiritual. I feel like for a lot of you, there's going to be sort of this shamanistic approach, a need or a desire to connect with those earthly shamanic rituals, approaches, connecting with all of the creatures of Mother Earth, Mother Nature, being out in Mother Nature, spending as much time as you can in the sun, with the trees, feeling the breeze on your skin, definitely feeling that when it talks about I heal all my hurts, I definitely feel that this is a month where you are going to be reflective of wounds that need to be healed, but also reflective of wounds that have been healed. And it's almost like I see you doing like a little recap of all of the different ways that you have worked things out to heal yourself, like different approaches, different methods. I healed myself with traditional therapy during this experience. I healed myself through connections with friends with this experience. I healed myself through my meditations and my journaling, and I took a course on the spiritual element of things, and that really helped me to work through this wound that I was feeling. So I don't know, there feels very much like an energy of reflection on the processes that you have chosen in your past to heal your wounds. I don't know why that's important yet or why that's significant yet. We'll see what the cards have to say. But I do feel there's a level of reflection of that, as well as you going out and doing things. And maybe it's just in reflection of how you have elevated, how you have shifted, changed, and grown and evolved in the process of that wound healing, that wound acknowledgement, and how strong you are now on the other side of it. So presently, where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Yeah, you're in victory. And I feel like that's why there is some of this reflection that's happening, because you are recognizing, damn, I'm a badass. I'm strong. I did get through this thing. And it was really hard. It was a major challenge to have to navigate what this was. And it didn't feel good. And even though I don't have a problem with going into my feels and swimming around in them, it doesn't mean that it's always fun. It doesn't mean that it's always pleasant. And so I definitely feel a lot of this energy with you right now of just feeling like, oh, I'm a badass with this. And it's important to acknowledge. It's important to acknowledge yourself. It's important to acknowledge how far you've come. It's important to also just kind of take stock and keep a record of the ways in which you have done this, because I feel like this month, there is going to come a time, and I keep seeing you guys like 2 to 3 different incidents, events, people, interactions, where you're going to have the opportunity to share this and to share it with others so that they in turn can, maybe try that process out for themselves. I definitely feel like this reflection, the urge to reflect, is going to serve a very tangible purpose this month for you. And it does really feel like it's going to be connected to relationships, connected to interactions that you're having with other people. And it's going to happen once and you're going to be like, oh, cool. And then it's going to happen a second time and you're like, wow, okay, that's like two in a row, or two people in a row, or two times that I shared that story, or two times that I ran into two random people who are going through the same thing. Wow, that's really interesting. Then when it comes up a third time, you're going to be like, okay, universe, I get it. Like, this is my time to pay forward, right? We give back and pay forward. This is a time to pay forward, to let someone know, hey, you might not have to go down this rabbit hole as low as I did, or as deeply as I did. Here are some of the ways that I was able to navigate it. And I am hearing for some of you, there may even be a desire or an opportunity to help who you're interacting with in a more physical way. So saying, hey, if you want to join, I go to this class, that really helped me through this situation. I go to this class. If you want, you can come and join me. I'm going next Wednesday or whatever. Let's make a plan. Let's hang out afterwards. So I feel like there's going to be some more interactive experience. And I feel like what that does is it serves to further integrate the healing that has come as a result of the process. Wow, that's really interesting and, quite frankly, oddly specific information that's coming through. So this is starting out already to be, I want to say, kind of a great month that you're going to be stepping into. Catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? 10 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you really are in this. The word I'm hearing is indulgence. Like, you're wanting to indulge yourself a little bit. You're wanting to be able to, have nice things right now, and be a little bit in the lap of luxury, to revel in all that you have become, and all the places that you're going to go. And so I feel like the catalyst really is in you being having it reflected back to you. Oh, I was there once too, and it wasn't that long ago, and I understand where you're at, and here's how I got through it. And I feel like there's almost this level of appreciation for it, that you recognize, wow, this person's going through that, and I'm so grateful that I'm not going through it. And I'm also so grateful that when I went through it, I reflected on these processes so that I can help this other person. It's like the ideal situation, being able to help someone to find their way through to the other side of this journey, right? To find their happiness, to find their joy. And through that process and that reflection, you're finding your joy, because you're recognizing, oh my God, like, look how far I've come. Look at all that I have. And it really helps, I feel, to bring you into the present moment, to be in that delicious space of gratitude, and true gratitude, where it almost brings you to tears at how lucky you are, or how joyful you are, or, how proud of yourself you are for, the things that you've done, and who you've become, as a result of these experiences. So this is definitely rocket fuel. And it's rocket fuel in kind of a gentle way. You know what I mean? Like this feels comforting and soothing. And of course, you're a water sign. So of course it's cups, right? It's water. So this is your home. This is your home space, your home energy. The 10 of Cups also does carry with it a certain level of evaluation and evolution, evaluating your evolution. So I think that's really fitting in terms of a catalyst. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Four of Pentacles. Very interesting. So I definitely feel here like a big part of what you're going to really need to be aware of, conscious of, maybe even searching for it in your actions and choices this month, is that place where you are feeling scarcity, lack, not so much like lacking your own self-worth or value, but where you are feeling you're falling prey to the illusory story that the world tells us that there's only so much to go around. There's only one pizza pie, and you got to get your slice of the pie because you don't want to be the only one left standing without a piece to eat, without food. And of course that is just simply not true. We can manifest everything and anything that we need, and we understand this because it is about energy. But I do feel that subconsciously this is kind of what is running around. This is what your ego is responding to. This is what your ego is using as its roadmap for where you're going. And that's why I feel like you want to maybe be a little bit more conscious about bringing some of this up with yourself, or seeking it out in areas of your life where I might be doing this, where this might be affecting me in ways that I'm not aware of. Because I use this in another signs reading as well, and I can't remember which one it is, but the word is insidious. It's like it's not super obvious, but it's sneaky in the way that it penetrates and permutates into everything, or permeates everything. And before you know it, you're sitting in it and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that I was sitting in all of this. So I feel like the challenge for you this month is to seek this out so that it does not rule you. It is not the ego is going to take you. It's got the roadmap. You might be operating on this roadmap, and the ego says, no, that's not the safe path. So I'm going to do everything I can to delay you. I'm going to throw detours. I'm going to take you on the service drive instead of the highway. I might even create a flat tire in order to keep you from, continuing on the journey, because the ego, doesn't know the difference between the pain of ripping a Band-Aid off your arm and chopping the whole arm off. It brings a 5-alarm fire to everything because it's trying to stop you from the growth, because there's pain and uncomfortability and the unknown in growth. So this is something that I feel like you really need to be on top of, or you don't need to do anything. It would behoove you to consider this at this time. All right. What's dying away for you this month? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Queen of Swords. Oh, somehow some of these are upside down. I don't read reversals, so it's weird when my cards start to show up and they're showing up in reversals. Okay, Queen of Swords. Sorry. The need to feel like you have to protect yourself from the world. I feel also like you're changing some particular thought patterns where you've maybe kept some things you've been thinking about others or situations, and keeping them to yourself. And I feel like you're doing it out of this idea of, again, needing to protect yourself, needing to create particular boundaries. But I feel like those boundaries and that need to protect yourself is, it's like it's unhealthy. It's not serving your purpose. You expressing your opinion, in the conference room in a meeting is necessary. It's important. If you have something to offer, something important to contribute, say it. I feel like a lot of this is you protect yourself. You don't say it because maybe once in the past, or maybe a number of times in the past, you've said something and you've been dismissed or turned away, or it didn't turn out really well. Don't let that stop you. I feel like what's falling away is unnecessary boundaries that keep you, like I'm seeing the Berlin Wall, back in the 80s, like tear down the wall because it's keeping families apart. It's not necessary to have this anymore. It's cruel. It's causing more problems than it is solving at this point. So I feel like this is great. This is great to hear that this is what is falling away, dying away for you, because you're getting ready to step more into a space of your own sovereignty, and feeling as though you can interact with the world, feeling balanced, feeling victorious. without feeling like you've got to protect yourself from everyone. It's almost like you're shedding this idea that you were ever a victim in the first place. You ever had anything to worry about or to fear in that regard. That you can hold your own, that you are safe and protected, and that you can continue to be safe and to protect yourself. You have the power. What is your highest phoenix potential? What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Oh, I love this. So, we were talking about gratitude. This is the card of gratitude. This is also the card of perseverance. I like to describe this particular card as, the child who sees the piano for the first time and hears that there's music coming out of it, and it goes in it, the kid starts to bang on the keys, and oh my god, this is so cool, and it makes noise, and this is just so fun. And then all of a sudden the child realizes, ooh, like you can actually make melodious sounds with this and play songs that you've heard on the radio. And so the child takes some lessons and gets a little bit of skill under their belt. They still don't know how to use a pedal yet, and they're playing chopsticks, and they don't use both hands. But eventually, over time, they stick with it. And before you know it, a few years goes by, and suddenly now they are, performing at a concert hall, and people are paying money to come and hear the beautiful artistry and the talent of this individual and what they can provide. And they're providing it because of their perseverance. First of all, because of the love of this skill, the joy, following and pursuing their joy, and the gratitude that they have for being able to pursue their joy and live their joy, and then to share it with others is even better. So when we are talking about your highest potential, I feel very much that is what this next chapter is for you, is reconnecting, or just connecting further, more deeply with that aspect of things. I feel like there's a real, I said this earlier, real commitment this month to your spiritual side, your spirituality. And I feel like it's that spirituality that is going to open up more of the love of these things that you have to share with the world. And this feels like it's opening up just that. Wow, I am ready to share this with the world in a bigger way than I have in the past. I don't want to play small anymore. I don't want to hide in the shadows, or I don't want to blend into the wall. I have something to offer, and I'm humbled by the fact that this comes through me, and I'm going to share it because it's worth sharing. I come back to this Four of Pentacles, and I said to you at first that it didn't feel necessarily like it was about value and worth. Now that I'm seeing this Nine of Pentacles, I do feel that there may be a component of this that is at play, that it's an acknowledgement of what it is that you really do have to offer, and recognizing that, oh, I've been devaluing this, or I've not been showcasing this in the ways that maybe I need to, in order to be seen, heard, felt, understood, respected, in order to grow and in order to feel completely fulfilled. So this connects to shedding those unnecessary boundaries that are keeping you safe from things that you don't need to be kept safe from. In fact, keeping you from those things is holding you back from this. So big moves, big shifts happening here. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support your next phase? Interesting. Five of Pentacles. So there's another, I can't remember which sign it is, but there's another reading that I did where they got the Four and the Five of Pentacles in, it might even be in the same position, the same card prompts that you got, and back to back in a row. And PS and FYI, I choose a different deck for each of the astrological signs every month. So the fact that the same cards come out and it's not the same deck always just kind of blows my mind. Anyway, okay, so here we are. What's emerging? This Five of Pentacles energy, I feel like you're going to be this month really, your attention is really going to be called to where you can be a little more defeatist in your attitude, where you can get a little bit blinded to the energy or the presence of the now. What I'm feeling in the now becomes the only thing in my world, and it can overpower and block out the why am I feeling it, so that I can move beyond it and grow into the next phase. You can get stuck in it, like wallowing in it. So I feel like you want to be really aware of where you have a tendency to get hyper focused on something that isn't serving you, or something that you can't really control or do anything about. The Five of Pentacles is a card of worry. And oftentimes it's the depiction of it indicates that, you're looking for help, you're looking for guidance, but you're walking straight ahead, or your head is down, and you're not paying attention to, the church that's right there. Like, look for the door, or go knock on the door, or look in the window, or knock on the window, right? It's just you automatically assume, oh, the church is locked, the church is closed, there's no one here to help me, so I just keep looking. It's wallowing, right? There's a wallowing component of it, when really if you raise your head up, you can see. And what I love about this particular depiction in the Artist Decoded tarot here is that you've got two individuals, so you're not alone in the journey. And I'm going to say to you, I feel like the two individuals actually represents, the two fish within you, the divine feminine, the divine masculine within you. And they're actually walking towards the church. So there's hope here. It's like they're not wallowing. They're actually like, they've got their eyes wide open, and they are going to seek help. They are going to make the attempt to help themselves by reaching out and asking for help. So I definitely feel like you are going to be coming up against areas where you might be falling into patterns of self-sabotage, or getting overly focused on things that you cannot change or fix. Some of that is just, you guys, Pisces, you love to feel things, and you love to feel it all the way. So sometimes it is just about having that experience, but I would encourage you to not get lost in it. Don't go so far down the rabbit hole that you can't find your way back, right? And I feel like that's why this is coming up. It's time to change that approach. It's time to step out of the extremities of life and to step more into, I want to say, exploring the gray areas of life. There's always help. There's always another option. There's always another way to approach something. Interesting. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Okay, so I definitely feel that there's some grief that's going on here. I do feel resistance, especially looking at that Five of Pentacles. Yes, you're moving towards the thing, but like if the door doesn't open right away, you might just kind of give like a half-hearted attempt and then walk away and say, oh, well, see, I tried and it didn't work. Getting out of that wallowing. And when we talk about this Nine of Swords, I definitely feel that maybe some of the resistance is coming from the grief that you have not necessarily put a finger on, or put a label to, or been able to connect the dots on. Why am I feeling this way? Or why am I feeling sad all the time? And I'm not talking about depression. I'm talking about like, I'm feeling sad, but I don't know why I'm feeling sad. Am I tapping into the collective sadness? Am I sad for my friend who's going through a difficult time? Or is there something more personal that I'm not able to put my finger on right now, that maybe I'm avoiding, or I'm not recognizing is there? I come back to seeking out, that Four of Pentacles, seeking out those areas where the subconscious might be insidious in what is transpiring. Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety. It's, having the nightmare and then waking up and still being in the nightmare, not being able to shed the nightmare. But the beauty of this card is it's a 9. 9 is endings, resolutions, conclusions. I feel like you in this process have the ability to put an end to all of this. You get to, let's say you can't figure out, you don't put your finger on why you're feeling the way you're feeling. You can just simply acknowledge that, okay, I don't know where this is coming from, but I am acknowledging that I am feeling sadness. So let me lean into the sadness. Let me nurture myself, give myself some compassion. Let me write it out. Let me sing it out. Let me go to a rage room and smash it out. Let me do whatever it is that I need to do to acknowledge this feeling, and then to acknowledge that I don't want to feel this way anymore. So how do I want to feel instead? If we don't want to feel sadness, we want to feel joy. If we don't want to feel frustration, we want to feel ease, or clarity. Confusion versus clarity. So I feel like this is an invitation for you to say, you have choice in whether you wake up in the nightmare and stay in the nightmare, or whether you evaluate it for what it is and then say, I don't want to feel this, or I take this from this experience, and now I leave the rest behind and I move forward into something that is more joyful or more aligned with where I'm going, with gratitude, with how I'm feeling about life, with the fact that I have all of my needs met, with the fact that there's something really exciting to work towards and to go to. And speaking of 2 9s, right? So I feel like they're like balancing each other out. I think that's really interesting. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or negative influence? Third 9. Oh boy. So this month, Pisces, this month is really giving you an opportunity to decide in this moment right now who you are choosing to become. And as a result of that, because it is purely your choice, these 9s are showing up because they're going to show up in all of these areas so that you can decide what you want to keep and what you need to take with you as you're moving forward, and what you need to leave behind. And I think I mentioned some of that when I was talking about this. I don't remember exactly, just because I'm channeling. So sometimes it eludes me, but I'm definitely feeling like these 9s are very supportive for you. And you guys are, excuse me, the last sign in the zodiac as well, the astrological wheel. So as a result of that, there's a component of you guys being in service to yourselves as well as to others, understanding service at a deeper level. And again, the extremes of life, like coming to the end of something, starting at the beginning, coming to the end of something, but not really focusing on the journey in the middle, or focusing on the gray areas in the middle. For you, it's the one extreme or the other. And of course, I'm generalizing a little bit here, but I'm feeling like this 9 and the fact that you've got 3 9s right now really says to me that that's what you're kind of exploring here in October. Is you can be at the extremes, but you can also evaluate those extremes, take what's working for you as you move forward, and literally leave the rest behind. You don't have to stay in the nightmare, and you don't have to stay stuck in control either, feeling like you've always got to have it all together, or feeling always like you're out of control in those ways that trigger you and cause a lot of this anxiety. When we talk about circles of support, I feel like this is a month where you are going to want to lean on those in your inner circle that are more grounded and balanced. And I want to say, don't get overly worked up. Someone who's real chill, someone who you can call up and you're in a, you're getting ready to jump off the ledge and they talk you off the ledge. No worries, deep breaths. What's transpiring? What's happening? Tell me what's going on. Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you thought about this? Let's try that. Don't worry. Give me 20 minutes. I'll come over and we'll work it through. Like, It's that calming presence. So I feel that that is going to be really important because, again, I feel that a lot of what you are exploring, you've got all this happiness, this victory, this joy. You're examining how you're healing because you're helping others to heal, but you're also opening up into this new, I want to say, this new chapter of your life where if the healing isn't done, it's going to really inhibit what you're opening yourself to in that gratitude space. So you're going to have others who are going to help to keep you focused on the gratitude rather than all of the other stuff. The other stuff needs to go so that you can continuously be in that space of gratitude. I feel that that's a little pie in the sky, a little esoteric. I'm sorry. I hope that makes some sense to you. It's just the way things are coming through. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? And you got your fourth nine, folks. Your fourth nine, the Hermit. Wow. And that's like all in a row, too. That's mind blowing. Okay, so I do feel that the big fear is that you do this deep dive and you get lost in it. I think that there was a card there where I said like you get stuck and you wallow, right? And you get stuck in it and you can't get out. I think that was the Five of Pentacles. The fear is that you go so deep or that you need to go so deep or that this evaluation that you've been doing, you have a hard time not taking it to the extreme. I feel right now like we're talking a little bit about some addictions or, we all have our vices. I would argue that everybody has an addiction of some sort. It's just, the level or layer through which it, affects your life is, sort of how we measure those things. So I do feel like a little bit of an addictive energy or the vices or I would say the coping mechanisms that you've developed, the boundaries that you've developed over time to protect your heart. I feel like the fear is that you're never going to really be able to get out of it, or the only way to function is by not being with anybody else, not being around anybody else. There's a challenge here where, you get rid of these boundaries and then maybe someone comes in and you open your heart wide and you're like, yay, and they stomp on it again. And you're like, well, shit, I'm not going to do that anymore. I feel that there's an internal struggle, like you're afraid that you don't know how to be, again, the gray area. You don't know how to be kind of in the middle. The Hermit is a beautiful journey because it's that journey of self-awareness. And clearly you're fine to do self-awareness work. You're clearly fine to do the deep dive. The challenge for you is getting caught up in that and then, getting sucked down even further. So there's a fear that if you continue on this path, the Hermit path, that you won't come back. You won't come out of it. You won't see the light and follow the light. You'll continue to go down the rabbit hole. And I want to say to you, if we want to see this as a hope, I feel like because you've got these incredible circles of support and you are in this space of gratitude, this is the energy that is going to help balance out the self-awareness deep dive journey. The hope here, your hope, is that you get so strong in yourself, in your core, in your what's the word I'm looking for? Not resistances, in your resilience, and in your own thought processes, that you don't do these extreme things anymore, that you feel really confident in how you're moving forward. And I want to say, I feel like this month is bringing up all of this stuff, all of the healing, so that, and the Hermit card is an earth card. It's a Virgo card. It's coming up so that you can ground yourself, because the space that you're moving into is going to be more expansive. It's going to be a journey that brings you to a new level of awareness of self in relation to how you're going to be serving others. But you do need to have some grounding with that. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense. It's like you're going to be throwing a bunch of spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And it's not necessarily going to land with people in the way that you want it to. And that's going to kind of cause you a little bit of a spiral, right? That value and worth piece, the wallowing, so I feel like you're trying to break out of a pattern in that regard. But I feel like the Hermit is a really strong card for you that says you will be able to break out of that pattern. This is about strengthening your resolve. This is about getting to know yourself in a deeper, more grounded, more centered way, and giving yourself permission to be that, even when you are, in flow and able to maneuver all of the shifts and changes and adapt to things. Where the challenge happens is in okay, I've learned this lesson right here. I could go a little further, but maybe I can choose to be grounded here and set down roots here. I don't necessarily have to go to the other extreme to understand all of it. I hope that makes some sense, guys. I feel like I'm a little bit pie in the sky these last couple of cards. I feel like what you're dealing with here it's big time issue. It's the meatiness of how you're really feeling about things, but you're trying to find some common ground with it in order to be able to help others, and in order to be able to fully embrace this new that you're expanding into. So the end of the month might be a little bit of a jumble, but what I love about this is your outcome. If you stay on course for October with all of the guidance that's come through, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Yeah, it's the Strength card. It's knowing yourself. It's feeling completely confident and comfortable in your ability to face your fears, to battle your demons, to make friends with your demons, right? And also to feel strong enough within yourself that you don't feel like you are being a leaf blowing in the wind of life, that you really have something of substance to stand in and to contribute, to share with others. We got off topic there a little bit with the process, you sharing your process. This is also about you going through a new process, and what is it that you're learning about this process, because you are going to be sharing that with others, and not just in October, although I did see those sort of 3 incidents in October, but you are also going to be carrying this through into this next chapter of your life, what you're opening up to. The key is the gratitude, the perseverance, and knowing yourself like no one else can know you, because this is your hope, is that you do get to this hermit experience and you don't lose sight of the core, the root, being able to ground it into your reality. Strength card says absolutely you're able to do that. It's grounded, it's permanent, it's integrated, and it's become a part of you. Interesting. Okay. So Pisces, that is your transformational tarot for October. And I have to say to you, I definitely feel there's a lot of up and down here. So if you really are feeling a little lost, needing a little help, a little support, trying to figure your plan out or whatever, please feel free to click on the link below and connect. I would be more than happy to be able to support you with clarity, guidance, maybe a plan, a course of action, or just some support. My goodness. It's going to be a great month for you. I really believe that. Just hang on and be in flow as you do so well. Be in flow, and you'll get out the other side, and it's going to be beautiful. Until I see you for another episode and segment of Black Feather Code Tour Divining a VIP Life, I say I will see you on the flip side, and transform well.